think I'm here. Oh my lord. Sure. Yep. You gotta be careful what you pick, because like I even had like my outfit picked out for this stream today, and I realized you wouldn't be able to see any of the writing on the shirt because it's fucking green. So that's a bit annoying. And so I'm like, what am I gonna wear today? So what I did was I went to the very back of my cupboard and I pulled out this bad boy right here, and I haven't wore it since it first came out. This is a Sonata Arctica hoodie. They're like, look, they're my favorite band, but they're not the band I tell people are my favorite band. When did this come out? I reckon this is from like 2020. Taville, 2019. Yeah, so somewhere around that time. And now it's too small for me. It's a size large, but it's too small for me. Fucking shit. Alright, let's I've got to announce on the Discord. Yeah, look, it still fits, that it's like, it's too small. I'm the drink king here. I've got 3 drinks. I've got my coffee, and then I've got coffee, my protein shake with fruit and water. Alright, let's continue this thing. Yeah, just the essentials. My essentials, at least. Gotta have protein.
It's
gotta have
literally
coffee.
just people sitting down in a room. Are back with part 2 of the Screamer / Shock site.
Alright, so just as a recap, we watched tiers 1, 2, and 3 in yesterday's video, and the YouTuber is Hannah the Horrible. She's a pretty good host, except does veer into the self-righteous territory a little too much, but we won't hold that against her.
Iceberg. And the first video did pretty well for my channel, and I just want to say thank you so much, but also y'all are sickos. However, I'm not gonna lie, it is nice to know that I'm not the only person with an extremely morbid curiosity. This part 2, we are getting into the depths of this iceberg. This iceberg is getting worse. I'm not gonna lie, I did have to take a few breaks while researching this because it got a little bit gnarly at some times, and there's also some things that I can't unsee. But hey, I do it to myself and I punish myself just for you guys. Now we are going to do tiers 4 and 5 today. We're going to start tier 6 because it didn't break up really well, so I am going to go ahead and do a few from tier 6 as well to kind of even it out, and then there will be one more part to this series where we'll do, I believe, 6 and 7, or 6, 7, and 8, I think. Before we get into today's video, we know that this one's AdSense is going to be, if not highly reduced, turned off completely, and so this video is supported by a sponsor. So we're gonna roll that. Thank you for watching the sponsor, and I will be right back with you. Have you guys noticed that I've been glowing lately? It is all thanks to today. Can't help you. I'm really sorry. You can't unsee the things that you saw. People with medical conditions could be affected by OK Manufacturer 5157. Kind of sounds like a throwaway account to me, but either way, they created this iceberg and posted it, and that is why we are here today. Like I said, there's a lot in the rest of this iceberg that I have never heard of before, which I thought I had seen and heard of pretty much every dark, depraved corners of the internet, but apparently I was wrong. A couple
dark, depraved corners of the internet. She spent the majority of the last video complaining about transphobes and stuff like that, so clearly she hasn't been in that many dark corners of the internet then.
Disclaimers as usual, especially for this, is do not go to these websites yourself. At least I obviously can't control what you do, but I highly don't recommend. If you do go to these sites, you're doing them at your own risk. People with medical conditions could be affected by these sites, either from shock or flashing lights, strained noises, just lots of stimulation and stuff. Like if you have a medical condition, definitely don't go to these sites. Again, if you do, that is at your discretion. For everyone else, there's also a risk of malware or viruses if you go to these sites. I am very careful when I research for these videos, but even I, of course, am at risk of downloading this crap on my own computer. So just be very careful. But when in doubt, just don't go at all if you're not sure.
When in doubt,
and last, if you do go, in spite of the malware risk, and if you don't have any medical conditions like epilepsy that could be affected by some of these sites, also, I warned you. I told you not to do it. And if you did it anyway, I can't, you know? That's the point of this video, is that you don't have to go look at them yourself. And if you did, then, you know, I can't help you. I'm really sorry. You can't unsee the things that you saw. So, all right, without further ado, very long intro. Without further ado, let's get into it.
This is your additional official warning that there will be very disturbing descriptions in this video. However, there will not be any imagery that is not okay for YouTube. There will also be no animal cruelty descriptions. I will be skipping those parts of the iceberg. Yeah, well, fair enough.
Tier 4 starts off with runthegauntlet.org, not very obscure. In fact, I made an entire video about runthegauntlet.org. I will try to put a card up here, I think it's on the side, and also link it in the description. So if you want to watch that video of mine, you're welcome to do so. But right off the bat, I'm just saying, don't go run off and go to runthegauntlet.org before you listen to what it's about, because the website, even if you don't actually go play the game, the website is very not safe for life. Like, it's just porn and violence the second you click on it. So just a warning, don't go to the website before you know what you're getting into. Anyway, if you go to the website, you bypass all of the crazy little...
I pointed this out in yesterday's stream, but I will point it out again here today. Her YouTube name is Hannah the Horrible, and everything she says is like so sanitized and safe, and it just doesn't really match with the macabre theme of her. Like, look at the background. There's like skulls, and it's dark, it's morbid, it's a little gothic. You can tell she's got that bit of a vibe to her, but yeah, she's very politically correct.
little video previews that
Kind of
are,
the
again,
nuts.
like I said, not safe for life or definitely not work. Then if you chose to go run the gauntlet, it's kind of a game. It's a series of videos that get worse and worse as you play. So if you choose to enter the gauntlet, go and run the gauntlet, the video will play. You cannot pause the video and you cannot go on to the next video until that video is over. And then the videos get more and more gross, more gory as you progress through the game. It's a test to see how far you can handle the depravity that is the internet. E.g., level 1, the easiest level, is 2 women arm wrestling, and then one of their arms breaks, literally on camera, like see the bone snap. That's the most tame, easiest level. Some of the other videos include bot flies. Others are just violent and gore. There's some that involve animals. And like I said, you cannot pause any of the videos or skip any of them if you don't want to see a particular one. The whole point is that you have to sit through every single one, and you cannot finish the game without seeing all of them. However, of course you can close out of it. I have never had an issue with the site, and if you choose to leave, you can simply close your browser. Like I said, if you are interested in this weird, infamous internet challenge, feel free to go watch my video on it because I go in depth and I talk about each video in it one by one. Last Measure is next on this list. This was a shock site made all the way back in 2003 by a group that called themselves the GNAA. That stands for the Gay N-Word Association of America. When you went to that page,
where do I apply? Fuck. That is so funny.
it had the goatsy image in the background. You're gonna need to know, like, the most infamous ones, Tub Girl Lemon Party goatsy for this video, FYI. So if you haven't yet, please go watch part 1. And again, I'm not saying this to plug my own videos. I mean, I am, let's be honest. But also, like, parts of this video will not make sense. It's going to make a lot more sense if you go watch part 1 and watch these in order. Anyway, this Last Measure website has the goatsy picture as the background. And then other browsers uncontrollably
The open source final solution. Fucking based.
pop up over it, like pictures of Lemon Party, the Tub Girl image, and the Pillow Fight image. Now, I had never heard of that one, and that one is not on this iceberg, so let me explain what that image is. This is simply a shock image of a man's genitals covered in caca. So you're on this site that is flashing up all these browsers of these very shocking images that a lot of people, if they go to this website, you know, probably haven't seen them before, especially back in 2003. And an audio starts playing while you're on the website that says, "Hey everybody, I'm looking at gay porno." It plays on a loop so that if you were at work or if you were in the room with anybody else, they would hear that and, you know, side-eye you. This one also had other functions that would sometimes freeze people's computers or just make it very difficult to exit out of, especially when you're in shock at seeing these photos and not expecting it, and then panic clicking and trying to get out of it. Next is Two Kids One Sandbox. Don't worry, this one does not involve a child or anyone underage. Thank God. I was a little scared to look this one up at first because I was really scared that it was going to have something to do with a kid, but it does not. That said, this is a clip from a adult film, and the woman is putting a toy, if you know what I mean, into the man's urethra. And I know that just does not sound possible, and I did see this clip, and let me tell you, it's not, or it shouldn't be. This is extreme things that, like I said, are meant to be shocking, and the average person would not be able to or have any desire to do this. However, honestly, based on the clip, it seemed like they were both really enjoying it, so who am I to judge? Okay, next is One Guy or One Man, One Screwdriver. This is the same person that made the One Man, One Jar video that everybody knows and has a love-hate
What a classic
relationship
video
with.
that was.
So if that tells you anything about it, this is just one of his lesser known videos. So in this video, he's doing the same thing with the jar as he was in One Man, One Jar, except the jar does not break in this video. And at the same time, he has the handle of a screwdriver. So the handle, not the metal sharp part, but the handle in his urethra. Again, I don't know.
What do I think about Bailey Sarian videos? I've never heard of Bailey Sarian, but I will look him up. No, never heard of her, but she looks like she would annoy the fuck out of me.
How people even manage to do these things in the first.
I'm like very particular about what kind of people I can tolerate watching on the internet. But I haven't watched any of He Is a Her. Yeah. So I just saw. So I would have to watch one of her videos first before I, made an obvious like experience-based judgment. But just by the thumbnails alone, like not my thing, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. It's just one of those things where certain creators appeal to me and a lot of others don't. That's all it is. Like, how else do I word this? How else do I articulate what I'm trying to say? Some creators appeal to me because of their personalities, and a lot simply don't, because a lot of YouTube creators kind of act the same way. A lot of YouTube creators follow the same formulas and whatnot. Like that Wang guy. You know Wang? I can't really... I've watched a couple of his videos and I don't know, he just seems pretentious to me, so I've never watched him. After the first few videos I tried, but that isn't to say I won't like his videos later on, or I'll come around to him, because it only really takes one awesome video and you go, you know what, I was wrong about that creator. Like, I was super against Asmongold. I judged that bloke so harshly based on his appearance and the way he lived. I judged him for, you can ask my best friends, like, I hated that guy. I thought he was a slob. And then when I actually watched his videos and paid attention to the things he was saying, I was like, you know what? Asmongold's actually pretty cool. I like this guy a lot. And now he's one of my favorite creators because he's not afraid to shoot from the hip. Yeah, like, again, I've never watched her videos before, so I can't make a final judgment just yet. But I will definitely check out her videos. But just based off of what I'm seeing in the thumbnails, yeah.
Place, it shouldn't be possible, and like I said, this is extreme. Anyway, he takes it out.
Like, let me put it this way. This chick right here, Hannah the Horrible, makes good videos, but I wouldn't have expected her to be so politically correct and tame, and she's serving some cold takes, some very very tepid takes about certain subjects, and I just go, it just makes me fucking exhausted hearing the same fucking talking points over and over and over again. You know what I mean? But again, I like her videos. I like her as a host, and despite her political, leanings, I would probably still watch more of her videos. You know what I'm saying? Even though, like, initially I looked at her thumbnails and I'd be like,
in the video, and then goes into a bathroom where there's just a lot of blood. Basically meaning this is not the first time that he had done it, and had probably done it multiple times in a row for this video on it, and where there's just, like I said, this is extreme. Anyway, he takes it out in the video at his urethra. Not the metal sharp part, but the handle in his urethra. Again, I don't know how people even manage to do these things in the first place. It shouldn't be possible. And like I said, this is extreme. Anyway, he takes it out in the video and then goes into a bathroom where there's just a lot of blood. Basically meaning this is not the first time that he had done it and had probably done it multiple times in a row.
You'd think his wife would notice. Like, how does this guy's wife not, like, you know, when they're being intimate together, how does she not notice things? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense to me.
For this video, I can't imagine, like, this makes me lightheaded just thinking about it. I cannot imagine what it's like for people with penises that hear that people do this kind of stuff.
See, that's another thing, like, people with penises. You mean men.
But damn, I have to say, I do just, like, honestly feel bad for this guy because he's obviously, like, only gratified, we'll say, by some very, very extreme things. And I mean, he didn't ask for that, I'm sure, to have these, like, fetishes, you know, and he's not hurting anybody. He's only involving himself in it. So really, like, again, who am I to judge if he's doing it only to himself? And I mean, that has to suck though, because you know, he seriously injured himself.
Maybe that's why he did it. Yeah, do you reckon he shows his wife these things though? Like, do you reckon, like, that they're a thing?
Like, in the video, you could see he seriously injured himself. Anyway, the other thing about this video is that some people do rumor it to be fake and set up. I'm not sure how it could.
I've seen enough of that guy's videos to know that in no world is that guy faking his fucking videos. It just isn't.
It looked extraordinarily real to me. However, it is possible, you know, I've been tricked before. It is possible that this was set up and fake. It's just hard to believe it would be if he was willing to do one man, one jar. Deleted video is next. This is just another shock/prank YouTube video. This video has the thumbnail of that little sign that we've all seen that says this video has been deleted, except the video is not actually deleted. It's the thumbnail.
You read about the testing for professional sports regarding sex verification. I've read certain things about it, but because we are in different countries, I don't get every piece of news that comes out of the United States. You know, I get a lot of US news, but, you know, we do miss out on some of it. Some of it doesn't get picked up by our own news agencies and whatnot. But if you're talking about a specific story, post it in the Discord.
To kind of trick people into thinking the video doesn't exist, but then if they click on it anyway, it's just a 1-second clip, again, of a scream, and of course, Reagan from The Exorcist. Because if it's not Jeff the Killer, it's Reagan from The Exorcist. FindMinecraft.com is next. This is a pretty basic one. It was registered in August of 2013, and the reason that it was called Find Minecraft was to, of course, trick people into thinking that it was going to be a Minecraft website, when in fact it's just another screamer. It's flashing lights, screaming, and a picture of Jeff the Killer flashing. Heya.org is next. This is actually not a screamer in itself, but it is a umbrella website that owns a lot of the other screamers. So they are most known for making Lemon Party. I don't believe they actually took the Lemon Party photo. Like, I'm pretty sure that photo is probably most likely from a adult film, like just a clip from an adult film or something along those lines. But I believe that they were the ones that originally, like, found that picture and, like, put it up on the internet to shock people. They also made McRoy.com, which is simply more scat porn. Whoop.org, whatever it is, WHOOMP, but it's a short clip of a Nerf football coming out of a woman's V while the song Whoop There It Is plays. And Besties.org, which yet again is just two men having consensual sex. HappyPuppies.net. Now, I was really scared to look this one up because the word puppies is in it, so I had a feeling that it was going to have something to do with the animals, but thankfully it didn't, so we get to talk about it. This one does not have any animals involved. Now, once later down the line, there are a couple ones with animals in this, and I'm straight up going to skip them. Just FYI. So you don't have, there's not going to be any animal cruelty talk in this video. So this was a site called Happy Puppy, simply to confuse the viewer into believing it was going to be a cute, wholesome website, but it was really a slideshow of other photos. Again, this featured Tub Girl, Lemon Party, and Goatsy, and then a whole host of other images, like lots of genital mutilation, e.g. a man's testicles being stretched, more
Nice.
feces and scat stuff.
Lovely.
Pretty much a woman doing the very similar things of the Goatsy image. Not female Goatsy, like we'll talk about later, but just a woman doing something similar. Like I said, I was just really grateful that this one was not about actual puppies. Monkeys on their back. This one, again, does not have to do with animal cruelty. It does have monkeys in it, but it's not anything like bad to the monkeys, so don't worry. And I can actually show you this one. This one's saved for YouTube. And this one's actually really fascinating to me because this is what a lot of people consider one of the original screamers before we coined the term screamer, before we knew what screamers were or purposely made them, because this was actually an anti-heroin PSA ad that played on regular television all the way back in 1970, so 54 years ago. So like I said, I'm going to show you the clip, but since there's technically a jump scare in it, I'm going to describe what happens in the clip first so that A, you don't get jump scared, and B, you can decide if you want to skip the clip. So the first few seconds just shows a wind up toy monkey and a little girl's voice that says, "They say people addicted to heroin have a monkey on their back. Isn't that cute?" And then the jump scare is that it suddenly switches to a photo of a real monkey, and there's a little monkey, like there's a scream, but again, it's not like a monkey in pain or anything. It's literally just a monkey vocalizing, I believe. And then on the screen they say, "Why do you think they call it dope?" Yeah. So anyway, like I
Nice.
said, I will turn the volume way down so that the scream doesn't get anybody, and it's really not that bad. Like I said, it's from over 50 years ago. So I do, if you're interested, I do encourage you to watch it. However, I'll put a timestamp here if you do want to skip the little clip. So here it is.
They say people addicted to heroin have a monkey on their back. Isn't that cute?
So
That's so
not
tame.
that scary, right? However, remember, it's 1970, you're a child, you've never been jump scared in your life, you don't even know what a jump scare is, and you were not expecting or signing up for a jump scare. Your face is really close to the TV because the little screens were so small, and then you're just minding your own business and you get this. I can see why that scarred a few children, probably adults too. Now, the campaign itself made absolutely no sense. Like, I don't understand what she's saying. I know the phrase somebody having a monkey on their back can refer to addiction, meaning that you have something that like won't let go of you.
Yeah.
But I have
Naturally.
to say it doesn't make a lot of sense overall. Like, why does she say, "Isn't that cute?" And why does it say, "Why do you think people call it dope?" I don't get it. There was another clip, there was another similar commercial in this PSA of a drug pusher guy from the same year, and I am guessing it's the same thing because it also says, "Why do you think they call it dope?" at the end. This one's not a jump scare, so I'll try to include this clip in here for you as well for more context.
Hey, kiddies, gather round. The man with the goodies is here. Here's a little beauty for me to Udy. Just inhale and sniff. It is aeroplane glue. Oh, one whiff, man, and
Isn't
you...
it true that sniffing glue can damage your liver and kidneys?
Cool it, kid. Look here. Amphetamines, bennies, dexies, meth.
They say amphetamines can cause something like schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia. In most cases, it does not last. Cool it, kid. Now for the bobs. Neato, nice, easy downers.
Withdrawal from barbiturates can cause
Will you
convulsions.
convulse yourself out of here? Grass. Anything wrong with pot?
They're not sure yet. They just started studying about it.
Worry wart. Dig, everybody. LSD.
Bad trips and a chance of chromosome damage.
How do you know you got
Everything you
chromosomes?
got there can hurt you, can't it?
Sure, kid. Why do you think they call it dope? Hey, where's everybody going?
So very strange, right?
Nice.
Like very strange anti-drug PSA from back in the day, but I love vintage crap like that, so very interesting. Anyway, that was one of the original screamers before there were screamers, which were invented more in the early 2000s.
Why is that so far down on the list? Like, that should be like in the first tier. Is it because of the age, like the historical context of it?
4 Girls Finger Paint. This is from the same director that brought us 2 Girls, 1 Cup, so
this one.
you can imagine what it entails. I'm not going to describe this one in depth. In fact, I'm not going to describe a lot of these just scat ones in depth because there are graphic descriptions on the internet, and I am going to describe, like, the point of these videos is so that people that are morbidly curious, such as myself, can know what's in this type of stuff, know what's out there on the internet, but they can spare themselves of actually looking it up themselves, right? And I'm going to do that in this video for as many of these topics as possible. I'm already going to get demonetized, I'm sure, for all of the stuff that I'm talking about before. That's fine. Like, I already know that's the price of making a video.
How tall do you reckon she is? I just saw her arm and it looked really short. So, what do you reckon? Like 5'2"? You reckon she's 5'2"? I'd be curious to know her height. I reckon I'm a full foot plus taller than her.
Like this, so
She
just
seems
know
very
that it's not for that reason that I'm not describing it in depth. It's more of the fact that it's just all the same, pretty much. It's people that, unless you have a fetish like this, it's gross to you, you know? And that's the point, is that it's shocking. So there's a lot of these in here. I will tell you when it is, when the video is something with scat, but I'm not going to go step by step through what happens in the video like I am for a lot of others, just because I believe unless you are afflicted with that fetish.
Good morning, Evil. What's going on?
Which I have a feeling 99.999% of my audience is not, you don't want to hear it. And for those that really, really want to know.
Yeah, she's kink shaming people with scat fetish. Which I think is fair game. It's a paraphilia.
They are welcome.
To me, it's a paraphilia. Some people say it isn't, but it totally is. Clinically, I think it's paraphilia.
To go look it up. So just kind of another disclaimer as we talk about this. But this is pretty extreme scat porn. It involves 4 women this time, and it would involve in the video everything that you would expect. Pooping, vomiting, doing it in each other, on each other. I personally can't stomach going to watch one of these myself. I do highly recommend Wang's video for this, actually. He's done a lot of in-depth videos on these kind of depravities of the internet, and he made a video describing what happens in this video also, if you would like an entertaining way to watch and you can stomach it. Okay, the next one, we're just gonna call it dog. I censored the first word because the first word in it is already gives away like what happens in the video itself, and it's very disturbing. Like I said, we don't do in-depth animal cruelty on this channel. We don't talk about it. I know some people got upset in my rabies video. I didn't think that was going to upset people just because I'm very sensitive to it, and it didn't upset me because it wasn't like a human inflicting something on an animal. It was an animal inflicted by a disease that was out of their control and like super sad and everything. But it's kind of like hurting a bear because they're attacking you is different than going out and hurting an animal literally just because you're a piece of shit, right?
Yeah,
so my definition might be different, but all that to say is I am not going to be talking about anything that is just a shock animal video because nobody wants to hear that. And if you do want to hear it, then I would say that's beyond morbid curiosity. But that's just my opinion anyway. So that being said, very much recommend not going to seek this one out, not going to read what happens in this video because it's just, you know. And I think there's one more in this part that also involves an animal that I'm going to skip over, but yeah, just Yeah, okay, let's move on. FortniteBurger.net. Again, this is a site that is simply named off of something to get you to think that it's innocent. It is, Fortnite Burger. There's a burger in Fortnite. But instead, if you went to this site, it was all kinds of Rule 34 of the internet. The site used to feature a photo of Wreck-It Ralph, except somebody photoshopped it to have him have a very, very large what, and it was ready to go and out of his pants in the photo. Like, it's so stupid. This one's very much just to ruin people's childhoods. Okay, that was tier 4. Let's move on to tier 5, starting off strong with cake farts. This is another hilarious one from infamous internet, and it is also one that we talked about in the Do Not Research Iceberg. I don't know if it was that one, but we've talked about that before for sure. This is a video of a woman. It's a 2-minute video. It shows footage of a cake covered in chocolate frosting, and then it pans up to a woman. This one's so funny to me. And she says, "Do you know what I like the most?" And then she goes, "Cake farts." In the video, she's Donald Ducking it, meaning she has a shirt but no pants or underwear on. She then takes the ponytail holder out of her hair. She lets her hair down. She gets up on the counter and she proceeds to sit on the cake, and then you can fill in the rest. Oh my god, I am 5. So then you can fill in the rest of what happens in the video based on the title alone. Interestingly enough, this was not a real cake. The frosting was made out of dyed mashed potatoes. She does lick some of the frosting off of her finger at the beginning of the video, so it would make sense that this part was edible, but that was made out of mashed potatoes, and then the cake itself was made out of silicone. I have no idea why they did that. I honestly don't know why they didn't just use a real cake, but production value probably. I don't know, so it wouldn't melt. Anyway, this woman has since come forward, allegedly.
I know the video that they're talking about, but why wouldn't they just use a real cake? It's probably cheaper, you know what I mean? Pink, what the hell, we're not catching any of them. That's true, we've been unlucky today. Maybe it's the bad juju from the video.
And said that she thinks the video's funny. She thinks that some of her life choices were just funny to look back on and laugh. Okay, Monkey Sugar is next. I'm going to show you the beginning of this video because the beginning has no jump scares or anything like that, but you can get an idea of the audio.
Monkey Sugar. Anything that makes one physically satisfied. By extension, anything good or desirable. The following are examples of things which are most certainly not monkey sugar.
So after that intro, you just get a 1-minute video of disturbing images. I'm just gonna read off a few of the descriptions of the images that are included in this video. A V with thumbtacks in it, damaged anuses, a tattoo, a faceless corpse, flayed testicles, mutilated corpses, a split open hand, a man with a hole in his chest, a strange looking egg, a tied up man, severed legs in a box. Honestly, points for not having just tub girl and goatsy. Ogrish.com is next. Ogrish.com was actually LiveLeak before it was called LiveLeak. Yeah. Basically, a website that believes that nothing should be censored, that information, news, and videos should not have any sort of boundaries on them in order to show real life. LiveLeak, of course, most of you know, was the site to go to watch lots of gore videos that were uncensored. Videos you couldn't find anywhere else on the internet were always...
See, but that's sort of a very narrow-minded perspective on what LiveLeak was actually used for. LiveLeak was used to document events around the world that the mainstream news would try and cover up or simply wouldn't display. So a lot of independent journalists would release reports and stuff on LiveLeak to actually get stories out there to tell you about the events of the world that are happening that are maybe a little too intense for the 6 p.m. dinner time news. So it's a little disingenuous to say that it was just LiveLeak was just for gore. There was 100% gore and weird sex stuff on there, but it wasn't. That wasn't the main focus. I saw more reportings about you know, on the field, like during wars and stuff like that. There'd be so many like video clips of journalists interviewing soldiers, and they would share their real thoughts rather than like the tailor-made for TV thoughts. Like, it wasn't just like mindless patriotism or anything like that. It would be soldiers speaking from the heart. Like, I saw so many of those stories when I was in high school on Live Leak. So
on Live Leak or bestgore.com, but Live Leak was pretty infamous for this, as well as having lots of uncensored news and stuff like that. Like I said, it used to be ogrish.com, and it was created in the year 2000. The word ogrish means like an ogre, and it didn't change to Live Leak until 2006. In 2007, the site became pretty well known because they had leaked a video of Saddam Hussein being executed.
Yeah,
but then, of course, they're also known for hosting other videos such as beheading videos, other just extreme gore and executions. Live Leak, however, is now gone. If you go to liveleak.com, it takes you now to a website called Item Fix. Waifu Basics, not sure how to say that. That one's next. This is one we're not going to get too far into because it's more scat stuff, except with vomiting. It's a Japanese couple, and it's a video clip. And that's all you need to know. Rotten.com. This is another pretty infamous website.
Thank you.
This one, I actually went a little bit down a rabbit hole and actually spent some time on Rotten.com, at least the one from the Wayback Machine, the one that you could find, because it is actually pretty fascinating. Again, it doesn't...
I have a Rotten.com t-shirt somewhere in my collection. I fucking love Rotten.com. Oh, loved Rotten.com.
Just host Tub Girl and Goatsy and the ones that everybody, you know, the cheap shock sites. It actually has some like information on it with a lot of the pictures. They were pretty well known for sharing graphic 9/11 photos.
Yeah.
And then they were also circulating in the news quite a bit for posting a photo of what was allegedly Princess Diana right after her car accident being gathered up by medical personnel. However, even though it's still debated online, it's pretty well established that this photo or these photos that the paparazzi supposedly took are fake because, first of all, the photo allegedly had 999 on the medical personnel's like vehicle in the background, and 999 is British emergency services number. The one, and this happened in France, in Paris, and that one is 112, not 999. And then the medical personnel in the photo are also wearing the wrong type of uniforms for this. So I would assume that whatever photo was circulating around was a different car accident that people said was Princess Diana. Anyway, Rotten.com was first created in 1996. It was last updated in 2012, and it was taken down officially in 2018, but you can still find a lot of it on the Wayback Machine. The title of this next one is the other one that we're gonna skip completely, Cat. You know, same thing as the dog one. It's just animal cruelty. We're going to spare you. Winterroud.com is after that. This was a site that was created by Jeremy Winterroud, and it's named after himself, winterroud.com. At first, Jeremy made this website just to...
It's a bold choice to name one of these websites after yourself. Like, that is a bold choice.
Have a place to hold his resume. But eventually he put the maze game, which we talked about in part 1, on his website, and that brought a lot of traffic to his website. It was very popular for that. And it kind of, he kept uploading stuff like that, and then it just escalated from there, and he started blogging on it about his personal life, but eventually he even took that stuff off, and then his website became just a screamer, shocker
Silk
website.
Road back in the day, I did a little bit. But Silk Road got banned very quickly here in Australia. Like, none of our internet service providers, our ISPs, would route to Silk Road, so you'd have to go through Tor or there used to be some VPNs that would let you sort of do those things, but not anymore. Like, Australia is, people don't realize how strict Australia is. Like, it's incredibly strict here, especially nowadays.
Mostly like in the jump scare realm, not in the gore realm. Other than Maze Game, he also hosted a game called Hit the Dot. This was a game where you click on the dot, moving around the screen. Every time you click it though, it got smaller and started moving faster until it was impossible, until it was literally impossible to hit the dot. And then of course, Reagan from The Exorcist jumps out at you instead. That sounded like it was going to be a joke, but it's not. Seriously, it's all Reagan from The Exorcist or Jeff the Killer. Optical Illusions was another game. It carried you through various optical illusions, and then eventually the next button would...
Those were the times Bitcoins was $85. Yeah, I know. We all should have bought Bitcoin way back then.
become unclickable, and you would instead get an image from, this time, mixing it up, The Exorcist, the beginning this time. Okay, one guy, one basketball, or one man, one basketball. There is no information on this one. Has anybody ever seen this one and can confirm? There's no Screamer wiki on it. There's no Know Your Meme page on it or anything like that. Could not find the actual video. All the links to it have been deleted. All the Reddit posts about it describing it have been deleted. So the only information I got on this one was from putting together what it was likely about from Reddit comments on those posts that were deleted. The comments are still there. So based on the Reddit comments, this video was exactly what it sounds like. One man, one jar, except with a basketball. And other than that, I can't help you. That's what I believe it's about based on context of the comments. A lot of people asking how it was even possible. And it's another one that was likely fake or just shouldn't be possible for the vast majority of people. So at least I'm going to tell myself that it was probably fake. Okay, dance.swf is next. This was from 2002. People also referred to it as Two Girls, One Disco. I can't stress this enough. This one was so stupid. It's two stick figures dancing to the hamster dance. You know, we've all heard that song. I can't play it for you for copyright reasons, but at the end of the clip, they zoom out only to reveal that the background that these two little stick figures were dancing on was actually an extreme close-up of the goatsy image. Putrid Sex Object is next. Now, brace yourself. If you have not been disturbed by the rest of this iceberg so far, this might be where it starts to push boundaries even for you, morbidly curious viewer. So just be aware of that. Trigger warning, I guess, going into this one. Trigger warning for this whole entire iceberg, but especially for this one. This one is so ridiculous, so over the top, that it's almost funny, but just because it's literally just people sitting down in a room thinking, what is the most absurd, horrific thing that we can think of that nobody's done before and that will shock people? And who can we pay to actually do it for us? Now, I read on the Screamer wiki that this video is actually illegal to distribute in a lot of countries. Okay. So definitely do not find it and share the link with anybody. Highly recommend not going to look it up at all, since like I said, it's something. Also, I just don't want any of you guys to get in trouble. Like, I might be on a watch list somewhere because I did end up stumbling upon the video and I did watch the majority of it. I skimmed through it at least, and once you know what it's about, you'll understand why I did not watch it in full, but I got the gist. I saw most of it. And if I am on a watch list, hi, it's me. I'm making a video about it. It was for research purposes. Everybody vouch for me. Okay, and then before I tell you what this one is about, I also want to give a warning. Like I said, trigger warning already, but this one has to do, I want to say but I don't know if it counts because the animal in it is a livestock animal and it is already deceased. So you don't see any animals harmed in the making of the video. So that's why I'm going to describe this one, because it's not animal cruelty where it actually you don't see an animal suffering or anything like that, but it does involve an animal that is already deceased. So knowing that, I'm going to give you a chance to skip to the next one right now if you don't want to know.
Oof.
Once you know this, you can't unknow it. Okay, did you skip? If you're still here, you want to know? Okay, suit yourself. This is a video of a man dressed in drag, and we'll talk about it. It is somebody who identifies as a man. Pronouns are or were he, his. We'll talk about that in a second. But he often dressed in drag in some of his videos. So he's dressed in a
Does this imply his pronouns are currently was/were?
wig and like a weird like wedding dress type thing almost. I think I could show you a still of it here because a lot of it, the beginning part of it, is not graphic. So this man is stumbling through this really dilapidated house, like stumbling from room to room. And then eventually we get to the room where there is a cow's severed head on the floor, and the cow's head is skinned, so it's already not super pleasant to look at. But like I said, at least we don't see any animal death in this video. I assume it was a butchered cow for meat, and they somehow got a hold of the rest of it for this video. So he just goes to town on this cow. I mean, you can deduce what this is so far based on what I've said, right? He very passionately makes out with the cow. He then takes its organs, because its organs are laying around as well, and just rubs them all over his body, in and out of his body. He then proceeds to masturbate using the cow head, just all over it. I don't know how he did this. All I can say is that I hope the actor of this video got paid a shit ton of money to do it. I don't know.
I betcha he got paid fuck all.
How I don't know how you perform in a video like that. Like how you how the pee functions in a sexual way, if you know what I mean. I don't want to be like super graphic because of YouTube, but yeah. Anyway, like I said, so I stumbled on the video. It's disgusting. Like, it is really disgusting. It's as gross as you think it is. And it's just so absurd, though. It's so over the top. And like I said, it's like you cannot take it seriously, even though, yes, it is just so disgusting. It's also just like so ridiculous. Like, it's so clear that they're trying to top all the other shock videos that have happened. The actor in the video was tracked down. This actor is actually Thistle Harlequin, is what he went by. I believe his real name was Alexandro Guerrero. He passed away in 2011, a very long time ago. I don't know how he passed away, but I was at least able to confirm his pronouns. There's other rumors on Reddit and stuff. I could not.
Whoa. Guys, you've got to confirm their pronouns. If you're doing research, you've got to confirm their pronouns. So he identifies as was/were now.
Confirm. Like, I wanted to know why he agreed to make this video, and like I said, there were some rumors that he just did it for the money. I hope that that's all he did it for, but there are some people out there that are just willing to do anything.
You know me too well.
So that one got me. That one got me a little bit. Okay, we have to move on. We're moving on to good intentions. Here's another one. I'm gonna play the beginning of the video for you because it starts out wholesome, inspiring, nice pictures, flowers, dolphins, happy people, and then it gets interrupted by this image. Again, I can show you this. I mean, it's a little disturbing, but not too bad. And then it goes on to other disturbing imagery. Compared to the other stuff we've seen in this Iceberg, especially for what we just talked about, this is literally nothing. It wasn't that bad at all. There is one pretty graphic gore photo in it, but other than that, it's like a flash of the painting The Sea Monster by Theodore Kittleson, a man with face clamps stretching his face, some demonic images, and then the same image before we went to this, before the video ends. I can see why, if you weren't seeking this kind of thing out and you thought it was going to be a wholesome video, why this would be disturbing to you, but for the most part, this one is nothing. Okay, Goatsy Girl. Did you guys know there was a Goatsy Girl? I didn't. So this one is pretty predictable. It's a video though, instead of a photo. So this is a man and a woman having consensual relations that involve her butthole. They finish and he completes inside of, I'm not offended by this. I'm just trying to say it for YouTube terms, trying not to get completely yeeted off the platform. And then she does a very similar goatsy thing, except she's like rolled back on her back with her bum in the air and then kind of, you know, pushes the stuff out. But she does it so badly that she has like an anal prolapse. It's gross, but it also looks so painful. But she does not seem upset in the video. Everybody seems happy as a clam. Now, again, I just want to stress one more time that this is not normal. Like, I don't want people to go and, if they do watch these videos or even hearing about these videos, think like, oh my God, are people just doing this? No. The vast majority of the population are not doing this, should not do this, and it's very dangerous to do stuff like this. You could seriously injure yourself. She seriously injured herself, as we saw in the video, and probably had to go to the hospital, or at least the doctor. I'm just saying, this is not a normal sexual experience. This is literally, the point of this is to gross people out and shock people. This is extreme. I just want to be so perfectly clear that the very, very large majority of the population are not going to do something like this. And nobody should be doing stuff like this, honestly, because they seriously injure themselves. Worm Gush. This was actually two different videos that were on wormgush.com. One of the videos is just also very Rule 34 of the internet. One man's smaller pee putting it into another man.
Whoa. Hang on a second. Now you're saying it's a man's penis? A man's pee? Not a person's pee? You've got to be ideologically consistent here, love. Do people have pees? Or do just men have pees? Come on now. I don't think she's being considerate of people with pees.
Man's very large pee, but his urethra. Again, things that shouldn't be possible and aren't for most. The second video is
This whole thing just proves to me that further and further we stray from God's light, and that I don't think there's any chance of redemption for our species. You know, Christ sacrificed himself for our sins, and this is how we repay him.
Is just a man and a woman, and it's scat yet again. Zokin was a screamer made in 2004, very similar to the What's Wrong with This Photo that we talked about in part 1. However, in this one, it shows 2 identical photos and tells you to find 3 differences. After 15 seconds, again, after you're distracted and focused on finding the differences, when you least expect it, you get a jump scare. I'm going to show you the photo that you get because without the music and the screams and the jump scare and when you're expecting it, it's really not that scary. It's just Amy Peterson from Fright Night, the 1985 horror movie, but movie. It's not when you expect it. On the picture, there's a scream and she's like zooming in and out in it to, you know, jump scare the viewer. Okay, that was tier 5. We're gonna just start tier 6. We're gonna do the first 3 of tier 6 because the next video would be like way too long if we didn't. This video is already long, but hey, you know. The first one on tier 6 is chomp.avi. This is yet another one of just competition of who can make the most disgusting thing on the internet. This one again is scat porn. Not going to go too much into the details of this one because
I love it how she censors porn but not scat. Makes no sense.
It's just scat porn steroids. It's just like the other videos we've talked about, except they try to make it even worse, even more shocking, and more extreme. This one involves 2 men though, not women. Chomp.avi is also known as...
That's a cool fucking logo, don't you think? Like, that looks awesome.
Do not watch. It's believed to have come out on the internet sometime around 2008. There's actually 3 different versions of this video, but I believe they are all pretty similar. The first one called Blood Show 1, then there's Blood Show 2, and then this one, Do Not Watch. We have no idea about the true origins of this video, which has fascinated a lot of people because there's a subreddit dedicated to finding the origins of chomp.avi. The subreddit, to be fair, is pretty inactive now, but there are hundreds of users on there that have joined that subreddit. The video is believed to have been made by a user named Dog Vomit Slave. And then one of the actors in the video is, again, this is speculation. We don't know this for sure, but it is speculated that it is an actor and a person who is now retired named Patrick Guzzler. He
Dog Vomit Slave.
did once star in other gay adult films. He has a profile apparently on gayscatvids.com. I will be honest, I didn't go look to confirm this because I did not want to go to a website with that title personally, but I guess he had a clip from that video on his profile kind of implying that it was him. But other than that, we don't know much about this video, and it fascinates a lot of people. A lot of people are interested. I don't think in like the contents of the video, but just really want to know like who, what, when, where, and why. Women'sAlliance.xyz is next. This one's interesting because it's not actually from the early 2000s like a lot of these. This one was actually created in 2020. This one was created by a user named Abak Meat God, aka this is the Kekma.net guy. We talked about Kekma.net in part 1.
Women's Alliance. What a great website name.
And he was the one that made the shock site that had like MAGA in the title, specifically to attract extreme political like Trump supporters to the site to trick them into seeing this stuff. So this is another trick website though, except this one disguises itself as a feminist blog community. When you go to the website, you get this page at first. Again, it tricks you into going. It looks like something innocent. Either actual feminists go to this site who they want to read stories of real women, or also more likely, like with Kekma, it was meant to draw in people who are against feminism and wanted to read stories of feminism just to make fun of it and call them snowflakes, stuff like that. That's speculation, but that's what I think. If you still clicked enter, then instead, where you got something very similar to Kekma, it was not feminist blogs, but rather very disturbing videos, except this time incredibly misogynistic violence against women. Videos of women being tortured, mutilated, and killed while Oh Pretty Woman by Roy Orbison played in the background. And then it would also show illnesses and gross diseases like very, very diseased V's or breasts that were like rotting from like cancer and stuff. Like I said, I'm really unimpressed with stuff like this. And it's just interesting that the...
Hold up, guys. She's very unimpressed. She's unimpressed, everyone.
Creator of this, the Kekma guy, seems to hate everybody on all sides of the political spectrum, and also seems to just be the biggest troll of all time because he seemed to want to trick Trump supporters with Kekma into seeing something like this, but then he also wants to trick people that are feminists and stuff like that. He also...
Well, there is political positions that dislike both the conservative and the liberal wings of the political spectrum. That position, a third position, does exist, you know.
This site was originally supposedly supposed to be a different version that was against the Black Lives Matter movement. So just because he's a troll doesn't make this okay, in my opinion. I don't condone this, to be clear. I mean, I obviously don't condone showing people shock sites without them knowing what they're getting into or getting their consent before you send them something like that. I think it's really cruel to send these things without...
You're literally making money from this, for fuck's sake. You're literally monetizing yourself for this.
People's consent in general, but
everyone's got a fucking price, don't forget that.
It's one thing to have these videos circulating of all these people, consenting adults, doing extreme things, or just people doing things to themselves. Like, that's just very different to me than stuff like this, where it's just like perpetuating and spreading misogynistic violence. I would feel the same way if it was against a Black Lives Matter and they were showing racist violence too. Like against marginalized groups. I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way. Like, I feel like the reason it is because it's not like trolls are gonna troll, but people that find out about this kind of stuff, people that actually fantasize about and actually enjoy watching violence against women or violence against Black people or violence against marginalized group or what have you are going to go specifically seek this stuff out in order to get pleasure from it and therefore become more desensitized to it and look for more extreme stuff, and then in some rare cases actually act on it. And I don't know, I just don't like it. It just rubs me the wrong way.
It rubs me the wrong way, but I'm going to put it out on the internet and I'm gonna make my buck from it. Look, it's okay to have whatever political views you want, you know what I mean? But you can't condone these people and then make money from your opinion when you're literally showing people these videos. It is sadism, but it depends to the degree in which the violence is occurring. Like, so I love boxing and, mixed martial arts and bare knuckle boxing. I love all that sort of stuff. I don't get pleasure out of it, but I enjoy the sort of the masculinity about it. She doesn't recommend or condone anything. Yeah. It can be sadism, but it isn't necessarily sadism, you know what I mean? Like Instagram a couple of years ago had like all of those videos that you could watch in the reels of like women like getting in men's faces and then the men just fucking them up for it. But yeah.
But anyway, shout out to the anonymous commenter on this Screamer page who went, "Oh yes, oh my god, so shocking, whatever, yawn." Like, you are so cool. Tell us again how unbothered you are by this extreme violence. You're so cool. Screams pick me, boy. Anyway, okay. We're going to end with read more Screamers. This one is very lighthearted, which I appreciate. It's a really good one to end on. So this is the last one for today. This one's more like OG trolls doing trolly things. Slightly, way more harmless unless they are targeting people with epilepsy who accidentally go to these pages. But anyway, so you know how on Instagram and other social media in the comment section, people have found that they can say like a comment like, if you want to understand what's going on in this video, let me explain it to you. And then it says read more ... But then when you click read more, it's part of the comment. Like they typed that just to get you to try to click read more, even though it's just text. You know what I mean? It's just like a little trolley prank thing, harmless prank. So there used to be an original version of this that were read more Screamers. Back in the day when Google and YouTube were just kind of getting off the ground, read more was a link. When your comment cut off and it said read more, the link that said read more was blue and you could click read more and see the rest of the comment. But of course, trolls figured this out very quickly because back in the day when you put a YouTube video link in the comments, it also showed the title of the video in blue, the blue hyperlink, not the YouTube video URL. So these people could make a Screamer video on YouTube with the title read more, and then it would say like, 12 lines or like how much more is in the comment or whatever. And then it would look as if you were going to expand the comment, but it would actually then be a hyperlink to a YouTube video, but not any YouTube video, a Screamer YouTube video. And they were almost always exclusively, of course, you guessed it, Jeff the Killer and screaming and flashing lights. I'm sure there were others, but that was the most popular one. Like, it is fairly harmless in the end. It's just kind of mean to jump scare people on purpose, especially because you don't know if the person that's going to click on it has epilepsy or some other medical condition that could actually harm them. For the mass majority, it's not going to be, it's just kind of rude. But like for some people, this could have actual health effects on them. So could you not? Still lighthearted though. People can't do it anymore because the read more is not blue. Okay, that's going to be it for tiers 4, 5, and part of 6. We're going to do the rest of 6 next time, as well as I believe 7 and 8 is what it is. Yeah, if you guys could like the video to support the channel. Like I said, I'm really scared that this video is going to get kind of like not recommended out. I might have to censor quite a few words in this in order to get it not totally destroyed by YouTube, but we'll see. We'll try try our best. So, okay. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you so much to our patrons on the screen right now. Top tiers are Colin Holmes, The Deck of Cards, Michelle Valdovinos, Little Kittle Cat,
Look,
Mitchell Schaefer.
I like her videos. I like her videos for sure, but like she does grandstand way too much.
This video is sponsored by Mistplay. More on them in a minute. Hey, humans, it's Hannah. Welcome back to the channel.
Well, how old are these videos? Oh, only like a year old. Alright. We will jump back into that in a second. I just need to go take a slash. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere, beautiful people. Okay, I remembered to bring my chair. I mean, not my fucking chair. I remembered to bring my shirt to see if the green shows up on stream. Now, I don't think it will. I think it'll just show the background. Yeah, I thought so. Nah. That's shit. That's legitimately the only reason why I didn't wear it. Because I knew it was going to do that. There's like a lot of green on the shirt. So it's just super fucking annoying.
Today we are covering the last tiers, the deepest tiers of this shock screamer site website Iceberg monstrosity. I'm really sorry to go through the disclaimers again. I know most of you have already listened to these in the other videos, in the other tiers of this iceberg, so I know that you know what you're getting yourselves into. But just on the off chance that somebody stumbled upon this video and it's the first video of mine they clicked on, I really need to just let everybody know. So first of all, flash warning for this video. Not for this video, I guess, per se. If there's flashing in any clips that I put, I will give you at least a text warning beforehand, but just to let you know that if you choose to go and research any of this on your own, major flash warning for a lot of these websites, which can be dangerous to people with epilepsy. Secondly, very excited to announce that there is no animal cruelty in these tiers. We don't have to skip any of the topics today because, as you know, I do not even touch that stuff on my channel, especially because there's like real videos that go along with that, and there were a few on the last video. We're not doing it, so there's none in this one. There is a video that supposedly has animals involved, specifically orangutans. But the video, I'm going to give you a big spoiler alert now, the video is fake. There's absolutely no evidence that this video ever existed. So I will be describing to you what supposedly happens in the video, but I don't think that's too worrisome for most people. If I can handle it, you could probably handle it because I'm very sensitive to animal stuff. It was completely fake. Somebody just made up a description for this video. That'll make more sense later, but just want to give a huge warning for that. And then lastly, of course, huge content warning for this video as a whole. As the title implies, this is a screamer / shock website, Iceberg. As always, I will never jump scare you, at least without giving you a warning to skip if you don't want to see it. I'm always very transparent about any jump scares, but typically I don't even include them. I'll just show you a picture of what the jump scare would be if it was like here. And then lastly, since this is a screamer and shock sites, a lot of shock sites involve either violence or extreme situations, which of course I will keep this YouTube friendly, but some of the topics in this video might still be disturbing to some. So keep that in mind if you want to keep going. Also, as usual, I do not recommend going to any of these websites yourself. I take a pretty big risk doing it myself because you can download a virus on your computer, and I cannot guarantee that any of these sites are safe. They are definitely not safe for work, but they may not be safe for your hard drive either. I think that's it. I'm so sorry. I try to keep intros short and sweet. I hate long intros in YouTube videos, so I always try to keep them short, but this one, it is very important to get the disclaimers out there. The biggest disclaimer is just that some of these descriptions, nothing graphic is going to be shown, of course. Never anything graphic. It has to be YouTube friendly, but I will be describing some stuff that is going to be either disgusting or disturbing to you, most likely. But if you're into that, keep watching. One of my favorite parts about the audience that I have curated on my channel is that so many of you reach out to me and tell me that you love watching and listening to my videos while you're doing something enjoyable. Crochet or painting or mobile games. And I know a lot of you are sitting there playing mobile games while you watch this. Did you know that you could be playing?
You know, most people that play mobile games are actually in China.
So fun. It's like a crossword puzzle with a twist. The clues are
like legitimately most of the industry is in China.
They're challenging enough that it is fun, but not 50. So in the last video, during tier 5, we talked about one topic that I could not find the video for, so I could not confirm the contents of that. And that was One Guy, One Basketball. Now, shout out to It's That Boy Crazy on Instagram because he is one of my subscribers and DM'd me that he found the video. So we have the missing video, One Guy, One Basketball. We talked briefly about what it probably is based on the comments on Reddit, but now I can confirm that it's exactly what we thought it was. In spite of the clip saying that it's one guy, one basketball, I actually believe that the person in the video is a trans woman. I don't know their pronouns, so I'm just gonna use they pronouns because I don't know. The clip that went viral as a shock video that you would send to somebody to prank them was just a woman helping another person. Again, I believe that would be the trans woman push a basketball out of their anus. Now, it's not a full-size basket. Yes, I watched the video. It's not a full-size basketball, but it's not like it's not like one for a dog either, you know? Like it's still like a pretty good-sized basketball. It's That Boy Crazy on Instagram, the person who helped me find this, also found the complete video that this video clip was from. If the FBI ever looks in my computer, they are going to think I'm into some really weird stuff. I had to watch the whole video, though, because I had to know how they did this. Because the clip, all you see is it being expelled. The full video does, in fact, explain a little bit more on how this was even possible.
So
the
lovely.
way that they did this is
I just love all of this so much. It's so lovely. It's just beautiful.
the woman helping them, the other person puts a deflated, the basketball is deflated, and they put that inside, and it's hooked up to an air pump. And so she pumps it full of air while it's inside of them, and then it gets expelled in the video. You know, not my thing. However, it was clearly between two consenting adults. They seem to be having a real good time in the video, so who am I to judge? My job...
I think it's okay to judge. I think it's perfectly fine to judge things like that. If that's what you're into, you open yourself up to criticism. You know, nobody has the right to not be judged in life. You know what I mean? Like, some things you should be judged for. Shame exists, and it's a powerful emotion. It's a primal emotion for a reason, because you instinctively know what you should and should not be doing. And when you do something wrong and you feel guilt or shame over that, there's a good reason for that. It's an evolutionary function. It's a biological function for a reason.
My job is so freaking weird. Okay, so for those of you that haven't instantly been scared away for the rest of this video by that one alone, let's move on to the rest of Tier 6. So we started Tier 6 in the last one. The rest of Tier 6 we're going to finish right now, and then we're going to do 7 and 8, and that's the last one. Honestly, I know the one I just talked about was pretty bad. However, I will say that these last tiers as a whole, I don't think were quite as bad as the last video, in my opinion. So this next one on Tier 6 is porkspin.com. This one's pretty dumb. This is very similar to Meat Spin. It's just somebody's penis spinning in a clockwise motion, according to the description, and the You Spin Me Round song plays in the background. So then there's a spin counter in the corner of this website, and apparently after you surpass 25 spins, it means you've been watching it too long, and "You are gay" will flash across the screen. And then at the bottom of the image, it says, "Hey, you are cute." Then, of course, you get a bunch of pop-up dialogue boxes, making it hard to close the window so that if people were around other people while they opened it or got tricked into opening this link, they'll be super embarrassed. Pretty sure this must have been made by a 10-year-old boy, right? So the website seems to exist still, but the little flash animation does not seem to be there anymore.
What a shame.
That's okay, I can use my imagination. I've seen Meat Spin, so I get the gist. Cheesypeas.net is next. I don't have a whole lot of information on this one. Apparently, it's just another puke one. And apparently this one involved 3 women. However, if you go to the website now, the website still works, but it just goes to an Asian porn website. Not a lot of info on that one. Butchered Girl. Okay, so I think I found this one, but I'm not positive. This is actually not that bad. I thought that this one was going to be some sort of horrific gore shock video, but it's not. It's just a classic screamer, actually. So this one is a little lesser known, but a pretty good jump scare on YouTube if you accidentally come across it. It's a 21-second clip, and it shows this little girl in a beige dress, and she's dancing. She disappears off screen, and so you're kind of like focused on where she went, so you don't expect it, but then you get this, of course, a scream and a jump scare of an image of a girl that looks like a butchered girl. I think I can actually show you what this girl looks like, what the jump scare is, because it was, again, like a little scary and would definitely be scary if you weren't expecting it, but I don't think this one was actually that bad, not too disgusting. Milk fountain. So this one is actually an image, not a shock video. I had the pleasure of looking at it. I honestly laughed when I saw this one, even though it's pretty disgusting. This is one of those that is really disgusting, but it's also so ridiculous. It's one of the ridiculous, over the top ones that I kind of low key want to know how they did it and want to know how they set it up. Okay.
Yeah, in those like cases, it's like there's a curiosity factor to it.
So this is I'm gonna paint a picture for you here. This is disgusting, just FYI. This is one of the gross kink things, but it's a photo. So this is a
Did she just kink shame? I'm pretty sure she just kink shamed. She's chastising us for kink shaming, and yet she's okay doing it herself. Okay, hypocrite.
photo of a woman. She's like leaned back, and there's a man also leaned back in the opposite direction. So he's like laying on his back. They are bumping uglies, but they're both like only connected there. They're both like leaned back. You can't see the guy's face in the photo. You only see the girl leaned back. So while she's doing that, she has something all over her. It looks disgusting and brown. I don't know for sure if that's what it is. It could be set up and fake. But then there's the ridiculous part. I mean, it's ridiculous as it is, but then there's 8 women, 8 supposedly Japanese women around her, all in a circle. Their hips are like touching. They're like in this perfect circle, and they all have little booties, and they're all squirting a milk substance out of their butts. I don't know what the milk substance is. And this is why I want to know how they set it up. Like, I don't need to see how it was set up, but I'm just curious on what the director did. I want to know how they did enemas, maybe? What the fuck? And I just, like, how? Who came up with this? Who got this idea in their head and said, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna do that? How did they get people to participate in this? I really hope they got paid. So many questions. This is a photo. It's a still from a full adult film all the way back from 2002, over 20 years ago. So just think, all these very young women in this video are like in their probably mid 40s now. I wonder what they're doing. I wonder if they ever look back on this moment and think like, wow, was I desperate for money? Maybe they liked it. I don't know. The real bananas thing is that the description of the original website said that this photo was an artistic examination of the female form and human sexuality, which is just, okay. The photo was eventually changed.
Artistic examination. Yeah, sure. That's so artistic, guys. I can't believe how artistic it is.
To a gift with 2 women with like these large fake you-know-whats, and they were so clearly fake. One also had very ridiculously large, again, pretty sure fake inflatable breasts that were squirting a milky substance out of them instead. Like, honestly, it's way tamer than the original image. And the internet, man. The internet is just so weird. Okay, Goosh Goosh is next, and I do apologize in advance for this entire video, but this one especially. This one's pretty disturbing. It's from an anime, so it did.
I love it how she's like always apologizing for it, but she's monetized the video, and she has no issues, no qualms talking about it, disseminating the information to us.
Did not happen to real people, however, SA warning for this one. Very violent one. just, yeah, skip to the next one if that's not good for you. So this is from an anime called Tokyo Tribes, or sometimes referred to as Tokyo Tribe 2. Like most animes, it was a manga originally, but they changed it into an anime, and I think it was like all the way from 1983. I'll correct that on the screen if I'm wrong, but anyway, so this is the first episode of the anime. There's a scene that people clipped out of the first episode, and it became a shocker video. So it's still up on YouTube, disturbingly enough. I could technically show it to you and not get age restricted. I'm not going to, because I wish I had never seen this clip, but it's seriously, like, one of the clips is up on YouTube I found is age restricted, and it was age restricted by YouTube, not by the creator, because it said by community guidelines, not by the creator. And there's another one. There's a full YouTube video of this entire episode up on YouTube. It's not age restricted. YouTube sucks at this because they'll age restrict me for like a photo, a still of something that isn't even that graphic, but then they won't. I've literally found shorts of people filming people dying, like dead bodies, and it's still not age restricted on. Sorry, side tangent. I get really irritated with YouTube. Is really bad at.
Totally agree with her on that. I actually totally agree with her. It is very. It can seem like YouTube's age restriction can seem really draconian when something like that's relatively innocent will get age restricted, and yet there'll be like plenty of like small creators that have very little exposure are posting videos of like car accidents with dead bodies and stuff like that, and they never get age verified because YouTube just isn't paying attention to the smaller channels. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. So I totally agree with her here.
Actually taking their content down. Hence, you know, that guy that just decapitated his dad. I'm sure you all heard that news story. And took a video of it, and it was up on YouTube for hours before YouTube took it down and got thousands and thousands of views. YouTube sucks at actually keeping things safe like they say that they do. Anyway, so like I said, I think it's gross that this is still up. I don't personally think that this should be on YouTube, even though you could argue that it's art. I don't think that this should be just like on YouTube where anybody could stumble onto it. Okay, so the scene is an anime. Like I said, it's a character named Bupa, who is the stepfather of one of the main characters named Mira. Bupa, apparently, the backstory is that he killed both of Mira's biological parents. He's the leader of this gang/mafia group, and the protagonists are trying to take Bupa down. Like, that's what series kind of surrounds itself on. So in this scene, Mira and some friends go to Bupa to deliver some money to him. And as they're there to meet Bupa, like, Bupa sets his sights on this young man, and he is like an unnamed character, but he's supposedly one of Bupa's slaves. It's really weird, though. I don't think he was with the protagonist's group because they don't protest when this happens. Anyway, you could see where this is going. For some reason, and by the way, I show you a picture, but Bupa is like this humongous character. He's absolutely enormous, and this boy is very small, and he R-words this boy in front of Mira and his friends. It's very weird. They don't protest, I'm guessing because they're scared of him, but they just kind of like stand there and wait. And he is so large, Bupa is so large, that this character gets killed in this scene because of this assault. The scene is shocking. It's very violent and bloody. I think the purpose of it was just to make you hate Bupa so much right off the bat, like just to show how evil he was. The title of this video is Goosh Goosh because Bupa is saying Goosh Goosh over and over during the clip. The only props I will give to
Pink, that, and they will add a certain percentage of the video attracting children. The other clip will play after. Yeah, YouTube does somewhat shady things, to be sure.
This is that it definitely portrays an R-word scene without it being sexualized whatsoever. Like, it's absolutely disgusting and horrendous. And I do think a lot of media has this problem with weirdly hypersexualizing SA. See it in any movie, and sometimes it's weirdly sexualized when SA is really not, should not be sexualized at all. And so I will give them props for that. They definitely made it horrible. They definitely made it very much non-glorified. But don't recommend watching that scene. I really wish I hadn't seen it. It was really, really terrible. Okay, cute.sfw, which I believe just means safe for work. This is another classic. This is a little palate cleanser for you. It's an average screamer. It's not too scary. I went to this site. You see this picture of an adorable little kitten. This is the picture of the kitten. And then while you're looking at this kitten, around 7 seconds, it's actually a video, but you can't really tell that it's a video. And then you see, and then there's of course a scream to jump scare you. And then there's this face taking up the entire screen. Screamer cactus is next. This is another weird kink thing. This is an image of male genitalia, and there's a cactus inserted into this man's you-know-what. Now, it does look very painful. However, this image is not bloody whatsoever, so it was definitely not the worst thing that I've seen compared to other stuff on this iceberg. The website that hosted this image was, again, another prank where when you opened it, you couldn't get out of it, so you were forced to look at this image for longer than anybody would want to. A bunch of tabs and browsers would open up. The song The Cadillac Theory by Stoop Flip would play very loudly in the background, again, just to make the viewer panic and be embarrassed. There was also apparently a little trend in 2016 where people were tricking Twitch streamers into opening this photo on live on their stream, just to watch them, of course, freak out and struggle to get it closed. Teenage Mutant Skullfuckers. Now, honestly, I'd rather watch this than that scene from the anime. Like, that's how bad that scene from the anime is. And I've also, unfortunately, seen this one before. This was in the Do Not Research Iceberg, also on that list, so I did have to watch it. I rewatched it for this video because I, by the grace of God, forgot a lot about it. This is a video of 4 people dressed up as the TMNTs, and they're just—
Dude, those are the cheapest looking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle outfits I've ever fucking seen in my life. They look like they cost $5. Look at that. That is ridiculous. They look so cheap.
Hanging out. They're eating pizza, looking at nudie mags together, and the TMNT song is playing in the background. Now, their cosplays in this video are creepy AF. Like, even if they don't go on to do what they do, the cosplays themselves, it looks like they're like wrapped up like mummies in shiny green duct tape. Their eyes are like lopsided and googly, like very, very odd. And then you notice pretty quickly that they all have these ridiculously large fake you-know-whats on their crotch as well. After just like a few seconds of them all just like seeming like they're just hanging out, they all just start beating up poor Leonardo. And I cannot stress this enough. It is well known that this video is fake and set up, but everything I'm about to describe is fake and set up. Nobody got hurt making this. But they start to stab Leonardo then, and they kill him. And then they essay him in the video. I, again, cannot stress enough that it is ridiculously fake looking. Like, they clearly took that green tape and like made the body parts of Leonardo out of the green tape and like stuffing and stuff. Like, it's so obviously set up. It's not even really trying to be realistic looking, which of course is good. It's just supposed to be the whole shock of what they're doing. So then they supposedly cut off Leonardo's head and then they essay his skull. Yeah, it's just a ridiculous video, again, of just one of those classics, like somebody sitting around and just for some reason had this idea and decided to ruin all of our childhoods. The video ends with them all spraying something that is supposed to look like semen, but is also, of course, very clearly fake. The bummer about this video, and even knowing about this video, is that you cannot hear anything about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from now on for the rest of your life without this flashing into your head, especially if you've seen it. So if you really, really like that series, I highly recommend steering clear of this one. All right, let's move on to Tier 7. The first one in Tier 7 is Spankwires, one of the scariest videos out there. Spankwire is just an adult video website. If you go there, that's all there is. It does still exist, but it does redirect you to another page. So it's under another name now. But this website became known for this particular shock video that was called one of the scariest videos out there. This is a very not safe for life video. There is the biggest thing in the video is severe genital mutilation. The song Knockout by Survivor plays while this footage is shown. I'm not going to get really into detail, but it's things like setting genitals on fire,
Lovely.
just cutting them open,
Lovely.
doing stuff like that, like stuff that most people would find extremely
lovely.
cringeworthy, and not in the secondhand embarrassment kind of way, in the like, oh my god, I can't watch that kind of way. I really hope it's fake, but I don't know, because the video was removed in 2018 and I could not find it. The Screamer Wiki says that it's unavailable to watch altogether, like all on the internet. I don't believe that anything's ever truly gone. I'm sure somebody can find it somewhere, but I could not find it anywhere, and I'm willing to click on some pretty suspicious links to try to find these videos, but I really could not find this one. It just led me to broken pages, or my computer was like flashing warnings at me telling me not to proceed because there was going to be viruses. So there is a lot of reaction videos to this though, of people actually watching the original video, so you could probably get...
Look at this guy right here. Look at this guy's face. He's horrified. He doesn't even know what he's looking at.
Plenty of context just by watching people's reaction videos. Like I said, I'm sure it exists somewhere on the internet, but just not on the surface web, or not at least anywhere I could find.
Is that wasps?
Okay, so the next one is
that wasps?
Maze 2019. I don't know what this one is, I'm not gonna lie. So there's no direct links. Like in my paranormal iceberg, it's really nice because there's links to all the videos in the iceberg. Like there's links on the iceberg that you can click on. This one doesn't have that, so I have to just like hopefully find it or guess when I don't know what one of them is. The title for this one is also too vague, so it's really hard to find. A lot of the time just random movies come up. Maze Runner comes up, stuff like that, or the original Maze game, which we talked about in the first part of this video. So I do believe this is similar to Scary Maze game. I think it's just a newer version of it, but again, I can't be sure. Several people on the Reddit thread that posted this iceberg were also asking. I found a couple people asking what the heck Maze 2019 is, and nobody responded. So if anybody happens to know, feel free to send me an email. Okay, and then this next one, there's actually the next two. I have no idea what these are. You guys might need to help me. Again, if you know what these are, please email me. But this next one is genetic waffle. The only thing that comes up anywhere on the internet when you look up genetic waffle is blue waffle. We all know what blue waffle is, and we talked about that earlier in this iceberg and other icebergs. So I don't know what a genetic waffle is. I would assume that it's related to blue waffle, but there's no Screamer Wiki on this one. There's no Know Your Meme. Your guess is as good as mine, so let me know if anybody knows what this is. I also looked through hundreds of comments on the Reddit thread of this iceberg, and nobody asked what this was, so maybe it's just me. Rickrolling.com is, again, I have no idea what this is. The only thing I know that Rickroll was originally the Never Gonna Give You Up song and the music video of it, and people love to link that music video in a discussion. Like they like to say like, oh, here's a great video of what we're talking about, or this video explains exactly what we're talking about super well, so you'll know what we're talking about, and then it links to the Never Gonna Give You Up music video, and it's just a joke. It's a prank, but it's a fun prank. I like
Morning,
it.
Maddie.
I like it because it's harmless and you're not forcing anybody to watch a screamer without them knowing what they're getting into. But this kind of implies that there's a specific website, rickrolling.com, that implies that it's something darker than that. Again, I have no idea, and when you look up rickrolling.com on Google, Never Gonna Give You Up is the only thing that comes up. So no idea. Let me know. I think that's the last one that I don't know, though, in this series. I believe all the others I was able to find. This is Neville. Poor Neville. This is a 50-second video of this animation of a little dude named Neville. The screen says, "This is Neville. He is depressed again." Alcohol doesn't seem to do its job, nor does crying. So it seems like it's gonna be like a PSA for depression, like a you're not alone, or like poor Neville, he could get help or something like that. And it's not that, it's a screamer. This is a very extreme gore screamer. Definitely cannot show you this one. It's an image of a completely smashed in head. And then there's a flash animation of a dude screaming. Think smashed in head like that one episode of Walking Dead, like that bad, except supposedly a real photo. And then after the actual screamer part, the screen says, screaming just makes matters worse. Like going back to screaming just makes matters worse for poor Neville. This is a scary screamer. I would be freaked out if I was not expecting it. That, again, I've said this a bajillion times, but like, can we not force people to watch gore? Can we not force people into watching stuff that could really disturb them? Like, if you want to see it, let them know what it is. Let them know what they're getting themselves into. Don't
no. How about no?
Trick anybody into seeing anything not
Maybe Neville needs therapy. Yeah, maybe.
cool, man. You can really, really scar people. Like, really scar people with that. I remember when I first heard about something involving animals that somebody bestowed information on me about it that I did not ask for and did not want, and yet this person, it was a coworker, told me anyway. And I remember I could barely sleep for days because I could not get this stupid thing out of my mind. So it's just like, it doesn't feel like it's that big of a deal, but it really is. It could really, really scar people and really, really upset them and make them feel like I just remember that feeling like I would never be happy again. Like, I actually went through days of depression because of knowing of this thing that I wish I had just never heard of. Anyway, Goodbye to the Dolphin Stream is next. This one is really strange. I can actually show you some of this video as well because it's really not that bad. It's pretty safe for YouTube because it's just a drawing. A pretty bad drawing at that. Okay, so this website, the original website would be a drawing of a girl with pink hair, and then the person visiting the website would click on her, and every time you did, she would get more and more injured and bloody until her head was eventually gone completely, and then the blood left in her wake would be in the shape of a dolphin, hence Dolphin Dream. Then the page would go to these black boxes where you had to like kind of catch them because they were moving across the screen.
Major flash warning for some of the links in this page if you choose to go yourself.
And you would click on them to get more animations and drawings from the creator, or often links to music files. The entire website in the end seemed to just be a promotion for somebody's music, for the creator's music. The creator of this website was apparently a Vocaloid music producer named ATOLS or ATOLS. I'm not sure which one it is. I'm not familiar with him. And he made this site as a teenager when he was learning HTML code. Super Mario Bloopers is next. This was created by a French user by the name of Gore Killer. And then this video was also uploaded to Newgrounds in 2008, if that tells you anything else. I can also show you some of this one because, again, it's all animated. Just kind of a flash warning. It's not too flashy, but it's like a montage, and so it's very quick, and it can be like kind of, it might be photosensitive, I'm not sure, just FYI. So it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a little compilation of Super Mario bloopers, but they're bloopers that somebody like drew, that they animated themselves for a video. But then there's a screamer at the end of the video. First, this picture
honestly looks like something that would have been on Newgrounds.
Of Luigi pops up, and this is kind of the first jump scare. Here's the picture of Luigi that pops up, and there's a scream, of course, to accompany him. And then things get so weird. There's these stills from Saw 3 of specifically John Kramer in his hospital bed. It then goes to a photo of Mark Hoffman, and the voiceover is some dialogue from the Saw movies of John Kramer. It's really weird. And then somebody drew, like, again, like cartoon dynamite on Mark Hoffman's head, and it like is supposedly explodes his head. I don't know who thought of this. It's nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense. It's very silly. OMSJ is next. I don't know if this one is OMSJ or OMSJ. I don't know. This is another classic short and sweet screamer clip. It starts with a Russian girl talking to the camera, and apparently she's talking about how a lot of people assume that polar bears can't smile, and then it cuts to screamers, to disturbing images. Again, huge flash warning for this one. I'm not going to play the flashy part of this video, but if you go look it up on your own, just huge flash warning. In the little montage of the screamer, you get images, of course, of Reagan from The Exorcist, Dr. Shivers, a Halloween decoration, Pazuzu from The Exorcist, some photos from the guinea pig movie, specifically Flower of Flesh and Blood, which, if you don't know, the guinea pig franchise was a Japanese horror movie series, and it was extremely disturbing and extremely gory. It then cuts back to the Russian girl, and she finishes speaking, and the video ends. It was posted in 2016, and like I said, I don't know if it's OMSJ or Omzja, because I don't know if it's like the Russian girl's name or something. One Man, Two Needles is next. This is another shock video that will surprise exactly no one in terms of what it's about. It's a guy sticking needles into his testicles. The guy has his testicles like tied up at the ends, and then he's sticking 2 needles into them and then pulling them out again and doing it over and over. It could be fake though. Just saying, all of these could be hopefully fake. However, there's possibly a second video that this is referring to. There's this weird, obscure little interview of this guy named Mark that exists on the web, and he's known for having a ridiculously and possibly large you-know-what, and it's not natural. It's because he spent 6 years injecting it himself with silicone. Now, obviously, do not do this. This is known to be cancer causing, and it's also just, of course, dangerous. And he has admitted himself now that his genitals are completely non-functional. Like, he cannot have intimate relationships, and he can't even stand up to go pee. So One Man, Two Needles could be either of those videos. 8 Girls, No Cup. This is another one similar to 2 Girls, 1 Cup. Except this is the beginning of an adult film where someone knocks on the door and a girl answers, and there are 8 girls, or hopefully I should say women, are in the house having a little party. One of the women in the house pees into a cup. Another woman at the party drinks it, and all 8 of them cheer. Then they all get naked. Then one of the girls is apparently defecated on by all the other girls. And their video ends with them all just puking all over each other. And one of them apparently says, "Is everyone having fun?"
I like the way she says that. Puking. Fun
at the end of the video at this party. No, Stacy. No, we're not having fun, but thank you very much for asking. One Girl, 99 Stomps is next. This one is also one that I have seen and covered and completely forgot about. I must have done it on the Strange Deaths Iceberg. Maybe, or I did it on some iceberg, I swear. Just a warning, this is a CCTV footage one. The video is also very, very disturbing, so highly recommend not going to watch it. This one is also weird because there's not a ton of information on it, so it's hard to know if the description of this video are just people making stuff up. What we do know is that it is CCTV footage of a very young woman, possibly a teenager, and the footage of her is outside of the elevator. She's going into the elevators to go up to her apartment. This is somewhere in Russia. A man comes up behind her. This man's name is Dmitry Chernikov. He just runs up behind her in the video. He is apparently a drug addict as well. This is obviously not the first time he's done this. And then in the video, he just starts stomping on this girl's head, like pulls her to the ground and just starts violently stomping her on the head. Obviously, it's not actually 99 times, but the video was just called that because it feels like it, because it feels like this attack just goes on forever. So like I said, there's a real lack of information about this clip. I tried really hard to find info about Dmitry. I looked up his name. I wanted to make sure that he was in prison and got arrested for this. It's really hard because some sources say that this girl was 15 years old. Others just say that she was like an older teenager, so maybe anywhere from 17 to 19 years old. Some people swear that she did not pass away during this clip. Some say that in between stomps, he like leans down to her, and some people say that he's mugging her, but other people say that he's strangling her and then going back to stomping her. It's a terrible video. He ends the video by dragging her into the elevator, closing the door after he mugs all of her valuables, and then runs off and leaves her there for dead. A lot of people claim that she passed away later in the hospital. Other people claim that she survived. I don't know how any of these people know this, though. They refuse to give any sources, so we have no idea what happened to this poor girl. I think because he had been a repeat offender, he had been doing this around the area in Russia. He was caught because he did it on CCTV footage. Obviously, they have his name, so I believe he is in prison for this, but absolutely, positively horrific and so sad that this is on video, but also just like, what the hell? What the hell? I'm pretty sure if you ask somebody for all their money and tell them you're going to hurt them if they don't, I'm pretty sure most people are going to be very willing to give you anything you want. Like, you did not have to do this to her. Like, you could have just mugged her and then left her alone. It's just that if he was trying to get rid of any witnesses so she wouldn't go to the cops, the irony of that, because he just filmed himself doing this and got caught anyway. So again, terrible video. Okay, let's move on to tier 8. This is the final tier in this iceberg. InternetHell.tk is next. Apparently it was just a screamer prank of another demon face. Then it's just a high-pitched screech and some not safe for work content. And it would also open a lot of tabs on your computer and be hard to close. Like, you probably can't even differentiate that from all the others that we talked about, because a lot of the screamers seem to have.
Yeah, so when I was originally going into this, like, iceberg video, I thought it was going to be, like, shock sites, as in, like, websites that are shocking, but it's literally mostly about, like, screamers and like, prank videos that are just designed to offend people. But, yeah, I get it now.
That same formula. Okay, next is 3 orangutans, 1 blender. So we have gotten to the one that I was talking about in the beginning. Big spoiler alert on this one for why I am going to explain this one, and that is that this video does not exist. This video is completely fake. Somebody made this up. It was in the peak of when reaction videos were getting a lot of views, and somebody made up the most ridiculous thing, terrible thing they possibly could, simply to get views on YouTube. There is no evidence that this video exists. That being said, there are descriptions of animal cruelty, but like I said, fake, didn't happen. Therefore, it didn't really bother me reading about it. So if it doesn't bother you, go ahead and listen. If not, skip to the next one. This is actually kind of an important part of internet history, though, because if you see anybody referring to this video, you can therefore tell them that it was just a creepypasta, basically, and that it's not real, because you will find people that insist that it's real. Any reaction video of this video that see...
There is a song called 3 Orangutans, 1 Blender by a band called Rupture of the Gastrointestinal Tract. Interesting. Oh, the whole album is named after, like, shock sites. 2 Girls, 1 Cup, Soggy Biscuit, Mr. Hands, Kekma. Oh, that's interesting.
They always have the same, like, audio of the video playing in the reaction video. So they'll play audio of literally monkeys and blender sounds, and then, you know, other random sounds in the video. But it's very clear that they're stock sounds. Like, most people could find these on stock websites or even on YouTube. And it was clear that somebody just put together random stock sounds of something that would sound horrible, and then they are very poorly acted reaction videos. So in one of those reaction videos, a random person commented and explained to everybody what happens in the video. Again, they just made this up, but it turned into the rumor of what this video was about. people saying that it was a video that does exist still, but it's on the dark web. The video was supposedly taken in either India or South America, and it was a group of men that were very clearly part of some sort of cult or terrorist group. They had a small camp in the jungle, and they would ritualistically torture themselves, animals, and each other. They would take these very malnourished orangutans that they were holding captive in a building. They were like collecting them. There was like a bunch in there just for these rituals, and they would force them out. They supposedly injured the orangutans quite a bit, poured bleach and lemon juice on their wounds, which, remember that for later. I know that sounds weird, but just remember, make a note of that. And then they would throw them into a giant machine that was kind of like an animal waste shredder, but it was much.
These protein shakes have a weird metallic taste. What brand? Is that Optifast? I just had Ink Plant protein. They're pretty nice. They're like super low carb. Yeah, Ink have you can get like 2 kilograms of plant protein, and it's the vanilla is not bad at all. For like $50 on special sometimes at Chemist Warehouse. I would recommend that, honestly, because it's just like you're just paying for a brand, you know what I mean? Like, they're all the same, like low carb, low fat, high protein. That's all it is, because protein is more satiating.
Much bigger, big enough to carry a job like, 3 orangutans. But then the comment goes on to say that these men are cutting off their own limbs sometimes and pouring them into the shredder, defecating on the shredder while it's running, like all this stuff that like gives it away that it's fake, because it's clearly somebody just coming up with creepypasta type details, but like they made it non-believable because the details were so ridiculous. Anyway, like I said, there is zero evidence that this exists at all. Just people that are making shit up and putting comments on the internet. In fact, what I just told you, like there was no rumor of what was in the video until a random Joe Schmo put a comment of what they said was in the video on YouTube. And then this video was also rumored to give people terrible, recurring, unrelentless nightmares, sometimes seizures while they were watching the video. And then there was a rumor that a lot of people went on to commit S-word after watching this video. Again, remember that. I know that's a weird thing to remember, and you don't have to remember it right now, but it's going to come back up in a couple of the other topics on the rest of this tier. So just shelve it for right now. Okay, One Bull, One Slave is next. This is just, I'm not going to get too
One Bull, One Slave. Interesting title.
detailed in this one. It's just another scat video.
Yeah, this tier hasn't got any videos I'm actually familiar with.
I think I've said the word scat now more in this particular Iceberg series than most people will ever say in their lifetime. This was just a clip of a man defecating into a bowl, and then he makes a woman in the video who is his slave in the video, with his stuff. So yeah, and then he gets off while watching her, while making her do, you get it.
Lovely.
Get it. We don't need to get too far into
Lovely.
detail. Okay, superanimeworld.000 webhostapp.com. That's a mouthful. So this is just another...
Just like that female slave in the video beforehand. She had a mouthful.
Classic screamer, though. These are getting kind of boring, the classic screamers, because they're all exactly the same. Not that I could watch this one, because nobody seems to have access to this one anymore. It seems to have disappeared. In fact, the creator commented on the Screamer wiki and said that they did have it somewhere, but cannot upload it because Adobe doesn't support Flash anymore. But I guess it was a clip from the anime series Perman? I don't know, all the way back from 1983. But if you clicked on the clip, it would take you to, can you guess? I'll give you a second. Take a guess.
Reagan from the Exodus.
Jeff the Killer and a Scream. I'm happy.gif. So the I'm happy GIF is actually really interesting because it's a mixture of fiction and reality. The Screamer does exist and it is real, So the screamer itself is a classic screamer, but the story behind the screamer is a creepypasta. The clip starts out with this creepy smiley face. I'll show it to you right here. It's not always depicted exactly like this. Sometimes it's a weird variation of this, but then it'll change slowly into this sinister frown, and then you'll get a ton of flashes of terrible photos. Again, if you go watch this one yourself, major flash warning for any of them. But the example of this video on the examples of the screamer on YouTube are actually pretty tame, pretty safe for YouTube. Again, the cliche smile dog, Reagan from The Exorcist, Harlequin babies, of course. But if you go on the creepypasta fanon, I think is how you say it, that website, it's a lot darker and claims that the original clip of this GIF shows really terrible, terrible things, like photos of R-word happening, photos of aborted fetuses, bomb test victims, animal stuff, mutilated bodies. And then at the very end, it's very flashy and it says, "Have a nice day." The creepypasta around this story claimed that anybody who watched this on their computer would
Have a nice day.
instantly download a virus, and then shortly after that they would be found dead and mutilated in their homes. Like, this was a very similar to The Ring, where if you watch this tape or watch this video clip, you will be cursed and die. And then it was said that the person who was killed would have a smiley face in blood next to their body. So that's a very watered down version of the creepypasta. And like I said, the screamer on YouTube does exist. I couldn't find the more violent, darker one, so I'm not positive that that one exists, but I'm sure it does somewhere. But at least some of these screamers exist, except the curse in the creepypasta, of course, is fictional. 6 girls, 1 dead guy. Thankfully, just like 3 orangutans, 1 blender, this video is fake and there's no evidence that it ever existed. There are fake reaction videos to this video online, and every one of these reaction videos starts with this screen. The following is a candid reaction to the vile clip dubbed 6 Girls, 1 Dead Guy. All of these reaction videos played the same song in the background of the video as well. And the clip supposedly depicted exactly what is implied by the title: 6 women performing necrophilia on a man, but then also taking it further, defecating on him, dismembering him, removing his eyes, you know, the usual internet stuff. And then, remember I told you to shelf those details from the orangutan video? The rumor with this video was that watching this video would cause seizures in a lot of people,
Dude, none of you guys caught that Pokemon.
nightmares, and that some people would go on to commit S-word after watching it. Now, the difference though is that the reactions to this video are way more realistic than the orangutan ones. All of those reaction videos are very...
That's fucking disrespectful and disgusting. That game doesn't work. Why does it always got to involve shit? Yeah. Why does it always have to involve shit?
clearly fake. This one, however...
So, if that disturbs you, you should watch a movie called Necromantic. Or the sequel, Necromantic 2. Or the sequel, Necromantic, what is it? Actually, I think there's only 2 Necromantic movies. Don't watch them. Actually, do not watch them.
Is very realistic, and we believe, it is suspected that people would take other people's reactions to 2 Girls, 1 Cup and other shock videos like that, and they would edit it in with this intro and a different title and say that it was 6 Girls, 1 Dead Guy. So the reactions would seem pretty genuine because people are genuinely reacting to something very horrific to most people, but of course they weren't actually watching this video because it doesn't exist, which I just find really interesting. People are very clever, but you're starting to see a theme there with the specifically fake videos that don't actually exist are supposedly causing people nightmares, seizures, and even death. And hold on to that because we have one more of those. 2 men, 1 girl, 1 supper. This is yet another video that is rumored to exist, but there's no proof of it existing. I think that these few that don't exist are on the lowest, most obscure tier of this iceberg. I think specifically because a lot of people rumor them to exist, and they are like the worst of the worst videos out there that ever possibly exist on the internet, and they're so bad that people just pretend like they don't even exist and that it's all fictional, when in reality it really is just fictional. It's just creepypastas being creepypastas. Anyway, so I personally don't buy it. I think that if any of these videos existed, I think somebody would find them. I think that they would exist somewhere. Things just don't disappear off the internet completely, and I think that there would be more people that had actually seen any of these videos. Or, you know, if illegal things were happening, they would have been turned into, hopefully, the FBI in some cases. So anyway, this one, 2 Men, 1 Girl, 1 Supper, is also interesting because this is another fake reaction video to an alleged shock video of a man, but all you hear in the reaction.
So it seems to me that the majority of this tier 8 of the iceberg, is just like people reacting to a video that don't exist.
Videos is the audio from the shock video, and it is audio of a man scolding somebody who sounds like a young girl, supposedly a teenager, who is screaming.
I still haven't been able to watch the Human Centipede. I just cannot do it. I think it's crazy that you may have seen parts of Necromantic, but you can't watch Human Centipede. Like, Human Centipede's nothing in comparison to Necromantic. What is it? Human Centipede 2 is actually a genuinely good movie because of how depraved it is. Like, it's like high art because it tries so hard to be disturbing. The Murder of John Lynn. Oh yeah, we were talking about that in yesterday's stream, I believe. Evil was talking about it as well. And Human Centipede 3, which is that the full sequence? Human Centipede 3. Final sequence. 2 is full sequence. 3 is final sequence.
And then you hear these really loud slapping sounds, and there's like this weird synth drum loop background music. I listened to the audio, the one that everybody uses in their reaction videos. One commenter, yet again, just a random commenter on one of the reaction videos, claims that they knew what was in the video and claims that it was a 14-year-old daughter whose dad was punishing her for not eating her vegetables at the dinner table. So this is gonna be really disturbing because it's an underage girl, it's a child, but that he allegedly in the video spanks her until she's bleeding, and then, get this, puts bleach and lemon juice on her wounds, and the cameraman is laughing and taking pleasure in this poor girl's misery. Again, very interesting that all of these comments seem to have similar details. They were left by different people, but it's almost like somebody read the comment on the orangutan video or on the other video or on the 6 girls, 1 dead guy video and like took details out of it for other ones. Like, it's really interesting that these all have similar details. Again, the most likely explanation for this particular one is that
The House That Jack Built by Lars von Trier. Yeah, that's a very artistic movie, very disturbing. Like the scene where I always remember this, like there's a scene where he takes his girlfriend's family and his girlfriend and her son hunting, and then he hunts them, gets them to run across the field. Like that scene, and the scene where he puts the girl on the back of the car. Yeah, puts the girl in the back of the car and just drives down the road, and like the head just starts disintegrating as it's like as it's getting road rash. And then like by the time he gets to where he's going, the body is just like a fucking mess. Very, very disturbing.
This audio does exist,
but incredibly well made. And the scene at the end where he like descends into hell, it's like a a painting almost. I don't like this lady's background. Too much stuff, too cluttered, very distracting.
But it's
That's valid.
from just a normal adult film, and of course the context is completely changed, but that all people in this film hopefully are of age. And the audio was taken from another film, but then the Two Men, One Girl, One Supper story was concocted to fit this audio, to make reaction videos to get views. And then yet again, people would claim that they would have seizures, recurring nightmares, and sometimes commit S-word if they had to watch this video. Or
Which one, the original with Vincent Price or the new one with like Paris? Well, the more recent one with Paris Hilton and whatnot. It's good. It's actually a pretty good remake.
stumbled upon this video. That is the theme with all the hoax videos. Death, 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 curse. And alas, here we are, the last one on the iceberg. And this one's actually very obscure, but not too scary or shocking, in my opinion. This was a screamer created in 2012 by a Japanese artist named Yamada. When you went to the page, apparently back in the day, there would be a really creepy photo of a really creepy doll staring at you with its head apparently tilted slightly. And then, of course, like all screamers, it was accompanied by a very loud scream. The page then, after the screamer, displayed two sentences in Japanese, of course, but translated to English, roughly said, "The curse has begun." And then it said, "In 49 days, you will die," leading viewers to believe that just by stumbling across the website meant that they would be cursed and pass away in 49 days. Of course, this was not true, but for younger teens and younger people that were more likely to stumble across websites like this, being in the age of the internet that this was, were probably pretty scarred, and it was probably pretty dang terrifying. The website now, however, doesn't go to this doll. I don't think this doll even exists anymore. It just goes to the artist's main website to showcase all of their artwork. That is gonna do it for the Screamer Shock website Iceberg. That was wild. Honestly, I'm okay with it being over. I do enjoy torturing myself just for views, just for the sake of entertaining you guys. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure I'll do it again in the future. However, I am relieved to have a break from this because I have seen the Do Not Research Iceberg gave me plenty of depravity and stuff and the deep, dark folds of the internet that nobody should ever see, but I felt like I did it all over again for this video. I will say though, I don't think anything tops Putrid Sex Object, which is what we talked about in the last video. For me, that was the worst one in this entire iceberg.
Oh,
that
sure.
was the one that really, like, I sat there and was like, all right, it's time to take a break from the internet for today. So that one was just, even if it was ridiculous, that one was really just, yeah. Leave me a comment. Tell me what your favorite one of this entire iceberg was. And by favorite, I just mean, like, tell me the one that...
All right. Love that. Okay, so over here, this is the trailer for House of Wax.
You guys gonna do it tonight or what?
Stop!
The hell is that?
What does he want?
Can we help you?
Well, maybe we're on his property.
Hey man, turn your lights off.
That guy was a freak.
So let's get out of here. All right, let's go.
Come on, he's gone. Is anybody?
No, nobody.
Hello?
I don't think anyone's here.
Hey, where's that House of Wax? It is wax. Literally.
This is weird.
Looks like a hell of a party. Look how detailed this is. Tell me this doesn't look real.
You're saying that that's a real person underneath?
They're all wax, everyone. Help!
had Michael
somebody!
Murray. Yeah. He's a handsome dude back in the day.
They're out there. You gotta be careful.
I am being careful.
That's when Paris Hilton's character dies. No, I watched it. I absolutely watched it. I saw that in the cinema. My old best friend and I snuck into the cinema to watch it.
What's going on?
Yeah, it's actually pretty decent movie. Okay. I am going to take a slash, and then I will be back. Let's what are we gonna play now? I think I burnt myself out on Medieval Dynasty yesterday. Too many fucking logs. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, nobody's having any luck. Okay. Curious to see what this lady's Hannah the Horrible's like latest videos are. She's still making content. Hannah the Horrible. Go to the Internet Mysteries. Internet Mysteries. Oh fuck, that's 90 minutes long? Nah. We'll watch that tomorrow. The Internet Mysteries Iceberg. Sean, what are you playing right now? Oh, you're in bed. Okay. Okay, let us play. Fuck it. You wanted to stream earlier, but your bed has attached roots to me. Well, maybe you can stream... If you jump on stream before I finish, which will be not too far into the future, I'll raid you and you can have everyone here. Missed this reference. Cinderella Story is my ultimate favorite movie. I remember that movie. Ah, shit. Let's see if any of my stuff sold. I listed a bunch of stuff on the auction house last night. I'm hoping some of it sold because I can't afford all of my abilities. Oh shit. I can afford all my I can afford all my abilities now. Hell yeah. Okay. Well, I don't need Eagle Eye. I don't need Eyes of the Beast. Scare Beast I will buy. And Distracting Shot I will buy.
Go forth to victory.
You see nothing? What do you mean? Is my stream not working for you? Try refreshing. No, refresh. My screen's working. I just checked. It's working for me. Try refreshing. Ah, Pet Trainer. Oh no, I don't think there was anything at level 4. Scare Beast, Distracting Shot. So I need to kill these harpies over here, and then I need to go up there for the Legion. Can I go to where I want to go down that way? Are you going to stream at some point today, Sean? Kron's amulet. Oh, that's for the crocolisks over there. You know, I always like thought it was funny how in like games like World of Warcraft Classic, like you've got the main, like the Horde capital right there, Orgrimmar. You would think that it would just send out like a little force to deal with all of the enemies over here. But no. Yeah, Conjuring Last Rites. I think that's out in like a month, thereabouts. If the music is too loud at any point, just let me know in the chat. September 5th, yeah. Friday. I'll be in Melbourne on Friday. Well, I'm heading down to Melbourne. It's really cool because I've taken that weekend off of work. I pretty much have Friday I'm doing stuff, but when I come back on Saturday, I'll be able to stream Saturday night. I'm really looking forward to that. That post-Melbourne stream. When I'm all goofy and silly and tired. And Soga rated me with like 127 people as I was studying and it was embarrassing. Nah, Sean, you were fine. You just seemed a little tired. Like a little lower energy than usual, that's all. To agility. Get the searing collars from the cultists in Skull Rock. Ah, I want that so bad.
May your blades never dull.
So I've got to go up there anyway. Right up here, right in this cave, right there. Also, thank you, Pink. I appreciate that. I'm sure it's going to be a rad time. That cave that we're looking at right over here, the most dangerous horde spot in the entire game. Many a youthful horde have died in that cave. So I am going to make a bandage as well. Low energy, had a pounding headache as well, which is a bad time. But it was still a super successful stream. You averaged like 60 viewers. It was awesome. I always love it when your streams do really well. Oh, nice. That's 2 quests right there. It helps that I'm like higher level for this quest, but I can still die very easily doing it. Ah, fuck. Your average viewers is like 7.5. That's not too bad. I'm pretty sure that's close to mine. My average is about 7 to 9, something like that. I don't know 100%. Okay, so we finished that. Okay, and now I need to go down here. But I've got to be very careful. This place sucks so much. Oh, my pet leveled up. I'm on edge right now, man. My senses are really heightened because I know how dangerous this cave is. Okay. So I'm pretty sure we go up here to kill Fellweaver's Scorn. Maddie, I'm about to eat peaches I was talking about yesterday. I'm sure you'll have a great time with them. I might wait. I'm gonna wait just a smidge. I'm gonna get one more level before I go do this. Just to be on the safe side. Don't give yourself a stomach ache. You want to try and avoid that. Feels nice to be doing all these quests again for the first time in so long. Okay, thank you. Give me that sword.
For the Horde. Straight.
Nice. Now go down here. Call Me By Your Name, the dude fucks a peach, nuts on it, and eats it. That's a good movie though. It's kind of wholesome. Now, is he gonna get this one or is he getting the Mage Royal? Yeah. Okay, my priest is level 14 and I gave up and started to play this rogue. I feel like I'm doing shit damage and taking forever to kill mobs my level. The benefit of priest is how safe and methodical they are, to be honest. Oh man, I don't know. There's too many fucking people here. Why aren't we all grouping up? Many selfish classic players here. Dude, my mouse is running out of battery. It was bound to happen. It's so funny how different Matt is in his stream to my stream. Well, get on the voice chat. Get on the voice chat and we'll see. And you also have to remember, like, I start streaming at like 9:30 in the morning, so I've only just woken up. Whereas when I get into your stream, I've been up all day, so I'm all loose, you know what I mean? More loosey-goosey. Alright.
Out of range.
Yeah, nah. I can't even loot that bitch. Okay. Oh, dude. They're just appearing around me. This is no good.
It is too far away.
Plus, I'm like trying to do quests and keep my character alive. You know what I mean? I'm not. When I'm in your stream, I'm literally jumping back and forth in one spot for like an hour, goofing around with you. So it's it's a little different. Dude, I thought that that undead warlock that we just saw died, but nope. Oh, chest. Yeah, you were just running in circles talking about what women want in a man. To be fair, I was replying to what people were asking in the chat. Like, it wasn't unprompted.
Inventory is full.
Nope. No worries, Evil. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy your book. And take care.
Still recharging.
What love is to women is what war is to men. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
I cannot pass that yet. I cannot carry anymore.
Are these all storm witches here? There's no savages?
Inventory
Ooh,
is
I will take that though. You need to get on retail, but it's cold. What about get a gaming laptop and then you can play from bed? Like a cheap gaming laptop. Oh, my fucking... I need to change the batteries on this mouse.
that spell.
You can get really good ones for... Oh my fucking god. This is not the right place for this to be happening.
I cannot carry anymore.
Ooh. Okay. Primal Wraps of the Monkey. So +3 armor and +1 stamina. Nice. And let me just go to Facebook Marketplace quickly. Marketplace. Gaming, laptop. It's got to be some for like 500 bucks. 800, 700, 600. That's not a gaming laptop. 600 Acer Nitro. You could get a gaming laptop for 500. Like a decent one as well. 699, 355. Jumping on retail or hardcore. And also another thing to note, Sean, is like my stream chat is way more tame than yours is, you know what I mean? You get like all sorts of like people in your chat that are talking about all sorts of stuff, whereas mine are like Mine are probably a little bit, yeah, mine is a lot tamer than yours. So my responses are naturally going to be more tame, you know what I mean? Batteries does this take? Double A. We have the same audience most of the time. Nah, you've got like, we share some audience for sure, but you have like quite a few people that don't show up in my chats. Dude, this is shit. Okay, Scroll of Spirit, I do need that. I'll get rid of that. Oh, Pink's about to get sassy. Oh, Pink and sassy. You have a lot of eccentric links? What do you mean by that? Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. I made a critical error here. God, that swing timer is one of the best add-ons I've ever used.
Wake up!
I don't really want any of this stuff. Let's go to that.
Keep it real.
Pink. I'll be searching tulips, then I find new information, so I'll look that up. Then something pops up and I'm like a dog seeing a squirrel. Yeah, so you just go down rabbit holes. I think we're all a little guilty like that. Anybody that's grown up with the internet, I think we all go down rabbit holes. It's just part of it. Okay, so I've got 3 quests to hand in here. I'm hoping it levels me up.
Lokta. May your blades never dull.
Fuck, it's all the way down there.
Loktar. Be safe.
Pink, it's frustrating when there is no answer. Yeah, you're like me, you need answers. I always need answers. So we've got to go up to the Sky Tower. Heading quest there, then Cleft of Shadows, and then we go to, I think that's Thrall, yeah. And then we'll go to the Weapon Master and hopefully get swords, so I can equip this steady bastard sword.
Loktar. Dabu. Go forth to victory.
Maybe we're not going to get the level up here. Yeah, I don't know. Could go either way. Man, Orgrimmar is so huge. Come on, give me a lot of XP. Come on, I want to hit level 15.
For the Horde, victory!
Fuck, we're not going to hit 15 by handing out all these quests.
Dabu. Farewell.
Pink, a lot of the who, what, where, when, why scenarios. Nothing wrong with being inquisitive, that's an important part of our existence. An integral part of our existence, I'd say. Sean, so I got up, went and brought in the bins and then emptied the inside bins, and now I feel better because I did something finally. Yeah, you'll always feel better when you get up and actually do something.
Loktar, friend. What is it you wish? Welcome to
Oh,
Order.
close.
Have you come to serve the Horde?
Neru Fireblade, where is he? In the Cleft of Shadow here in Orgrimmar. Okay. So maybe we will get that level up. Gauge Neru Fireblade's reaction to you being a member of the Burning Blade. Now let us see if this insignia you found is worth the effort. There is a warlock within the city who believes he has my trust. He does not know that I realize where his true loyalties lie. He is in fact the leader of the Burning Blade. But do not rush off to do battle with him. He has a purpose and we shall use him against our enemies. Take this insignia to him in the Cleft of Shadow here in Orgrimmar. Speak to him and see if he believes you are one of his own, then return to me here. Now I have a jumper on, so I'm not so cold, so it's all coming up Millhouse. Well, you've gone and done it. Are you gonna stream? Come on, please have swords. No, alright. Come on, have swords, please have swords.
Come get them.
No. Swords.
Grace and honor.
Where are the swords? Fuck.
Blood and thunder.
Two-handed axes.
For the Horde.
I'm gonna get that one just in case. I'm pretty sure swords are under city. Evil left to read a book. She's reading the Odyssey, which is a valid reason to not, it's a valid reason to leave, to read the Odyssey. Maybe if you stream Subnautica, she'll drop in anyway. You never know. $20 minutes for Onyxia.
How?
Well, then that's a good indication that you should be streaming it. You may speak frankly, Neru. Ah, one of our own. It is good to see our numbers are growing so rapidly that I can no longer keep track of the faces of our members. That fool Thrall thinks I am working hard to cleanse the image of warlocks and prove we are his servants. Idiot. The Burning Legion will make ash of this entire world after it drains it completely. It is good to see the Burning Blade is taking over where the Shadow Council once failed. Naive fool, the Burning Blade is the Shadow Council. There are many cults and organizations under the Council's rule. All of them are just extensions of their will. I may lead the Burning Blade, but I am still just as much a pawn to the Council as you are to me. Look at the Searing Blade. Most of them think they are becoming the next rising group of powerful warlocks that they will replace the Shadow Council. So the Searing Blade is expendable. Haha. Save for their leaders, the Satyr, Basilan, and the Warlock Jurgosh. Yes, all of them. That is why I constantly send Thrall's worshippers at them. It gives Thrall the impression that I'm weeding out the evil in the bowels of his great city. The victory is in reality twofold. Kill Thrall's faithful and test the strength of those in the Searing Blade to see if they are truly worthy of joining me. If there is anything you would have of me, I will make it known to you. You are obviously already proving yourself in our ranks to become a lieutenant so quickly. Perhaps you can return to me later and I will have tasks for you. The Council adores those skilled in the arcane, but servants of all kinds are always welcome, no matter their profession.
Strength! For the Horde!
Maybe this will level me up. Oh, would you look at that? We caught little Diglett. Why is it that one cannot understand their own mind? So the theory on that is that if you had true access to your subconscious mind, you would go absolutely insane. That's pretty much the simplified theory of it. There needs to be an undermind, so to speak.
I cannot use that item yet.
Loktar, friend. What is it you wish?
Excellent, most excellent hunter. I think it's like broadly there's a lot of there's a lot of different names for it, but you could start with id, ego, and superego. That's like the basis of it in terms of like Freudian psychology, and then that will go into the rabbit holes for you. There's a million different rabbit holes there. The Jungian shadow theory as well. I write about that pretty extensively. There's a... What the hell are you listening to? It's awful. This is Winter Synth. I mean, I could put on something truly awful for you if you wanted to. Excellent, most excellent hunter. What you have done this day is only the first step in a much broader foundation. A foundation that we will build the destruction of the Shadow Council on, once and for all. Tell me all he said and leave not one word out. It may be more important than you realize.
Welcome to Orgrimmar. Have you come to serve the Horde?
Leaders of the Searing Blade. Are you able to list it in Discord? Yeah, I can just give you a couple of written things for it, but it's too extensive to go into detail in like a Discord post though. It truly sounded like howling Arctic wind. I think that was the point. It was literal winter synth. Like that's actually what it was. Anyways, I'm going to end the stream there unless Sean's going to stream and I'll raid him. He will confirm any moment now whether or not that is the case. Any takers? Any responds? Do I? Just let me know. Maybe later. Alrighty, no worries. So that, my fucking mouse ran out of batteries again. That is going to do it for the stream, guys. Thank you all for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. We will start the, what is the Iceberg? Internet Mysteries Iceberg tomorrow. That's a 90-minute long video, and that's just part fucking 1. So until then, my name is Matty Demise. I'll catch you guys later.